Good evening and welcome to Young World News at 9. I am your presenter Cynthia Mondo Mothogi.
And I am Mariam Munyao.
And these are the headlines. Professor Laban Ayuro, the Daystar University Vice Chancellor, reveals how he will ensure lightning does not strike twice.
The financial mayhem at Daystar University finally clarified, explaining the strict rule in attendance signing and equipment borrowing.
The uncertain certainty that comes with dating and love here at Young World News.
The long journey at Daystar University is soon coming to an end, but what are the expectations from the graduates?
Welcome. A new leaf has been turned for Daystar University faculty and students. New reforms in Daystar University are set to be unleashed, and in an exclusive interview with Young World TV, Professor Laban Ayuro, the university's Vice Chancellor, reveals how he will prevent lightning from striking twice. Here is Mariam Munyao with more details on the story.
It was in this building where the fourth Vice Chancellor of Daystar University, Professor Laban Ayuro, announced that the new reforms will be unleashed. This triggers the question, how will the financial transparency be achieved?
Starting next semester, we will only operate through a procurement plan that is approved. So any purchase must be on the plan. Anytime a check comes for signature here, it must be against the plan.
Being a good custodian, restructuring all the financial department and taking control of the financial management forms the trio that the new Vice Chancellor will use as his blueprint in ensuring that financial transparency is achieved in Daystar University.
So I really intend to literally control prudent financial management. We are also going to restructure the whole finance department. Restructuring so that it is efficient, it is transparent, it is open. And as I've told everybody, including the council, if you want us to put our books of accounts on the website, I have no problem. They have the problem, me I have no problem, because I have asked God to help me to be a good custodian.
The Daystar community has indeed turned a new page, but just as the Englishmen say, it takes two to tango. Students, staff, and faculty each have a role to play in ensuring that financial transparency is achieved along the corridors of money matters within this university. Reporting for Young World News at 9, this is Mariam Munyao.
Talking about transparency and accountability,
Yes.
Professor Laban Ayuro arrived from a week-long tour in the US with the Daystar University US Board, and he came back with 65 million shillings.
Wow.
Yeah, and in a short way, I'm going to give you a recap of the 65 million. So 30 million will be used for the water project in the river, and 14 million which will be used for the School of Communication, 2 studios, 2 digitalized studios, and 12.5 million for the ICT for a digitalized university where when they do their projects, they're going to be able to showcase them to the world out there. So I think it's safe to say that Professor Laban Ayuro is trying all he can to include the students in his money
Yes.
endeavors. Yes.
And Cindy, if you can remember, this is what the students of this university longed for as they expressed their anger and frustrations through the boycott that was there last year.
Yes.
Yes, and in other news, after a 4-year journey of working towards being journalists at Daystar University, the class of 2019 expresses the expectation in regards to life after campus. Here is our reporter Mariam Munyao with more news. The projection of a woman in a labor room just about to give birth best describes the kind of expectation the class of 2019 in Daystar University has as they are counting days towards their graduation, then hopefully join the corporate world. With me here is some of them, and I will start with the gentleman on my right, who will tell us the expectation.
First of all, I'm very excited and pregnant with expectations, just as she said. And all I want to do is just get into the world out there and see what the world has to offer.
Over to you.
Asante sana. Nimekuwa nikingojea hii siku. Hopefully December 2019 as a graduate. Yeah, najua huko nje si rahisi.
Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Marion. My name is Ronnie, and I'll be graduating this year, December, hopefully. And my expectation, okay, well, I don't really expect much outside there because I have friends who've gone through the system and they've looked for jobs, I tell you, like 2 years, 3 years. So personally, I feel like I'm a photographer. I'll be doing photography until when I get a job.
Over to you, madam.
Okay, my name is Faith, and to me it's just it's like mixed feelings because I'm happy and also I'm afraid because I don't know what is out there.
Us, Young World News team, we wish the class of 2019 the very best. Marion Munyao reporting for Young World News at 9.
In 2016, former Education Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i released a new order that all candidates who scored between A and C+ in this year's and the next years to come will get places in public university. This meant that private universities would be left to compete for the students who scored C and D+ for both diploma and undergraduate courses. Therefore, this has left an open wound in most universities' financial departments, especially the Daystar University, causing students to be chased out of classes without completing their school fees. And here is Cynthia Mondo Muthogi with more details.
Honestly, the only reason that you can't afford to pay the school fees is because you don't have enough money.
For me, I don't think being bad from signing in class because you haven't finished paying school fees has any Christian value.
If the people who have been paying fees were asked, they would have really wanted to be part of the ones who have paid the fees, but because of one issue or another, they haven't had the chance to do so.
During the beginning of the January semester, an early report was sent out to the Daystar University students which urged them to pay their school fees within the first month of the semester or to apply for the installment payment plan. However, this fell to the deaf ears of the students. Therefore, in April this semester, a written memo was sent out to each and every lecturer restraining students who had not paid their school fees in full from citing in their attendance even if they had attended the class, and in the student for the electronic media students, from borrowing equipment which would help them in completing their final projects from the studio technician. Now, this has turned into a war between lecturers and students, whereby the students are terming the financial department as unfair and inconsiderate. Therefore, I was inclined to visit the financial department in order to understand why the sudden change of the rules. I spoke to Mr. Charles Kivinda, the school's assistant accountant, who explained to me that after the new rule by the former CS Education Fred Matiang'i to allow C+ and above students in public universities, most private universities have been left with little or no student to admit, and this has led to a gap in the financial department, whereby the scarce resource, which is money, is unreadily available. Therefore, the few students that most private universities manage to admit in their schools have been forced to pay their school fees in full within the first month of the semester in order to provide for the scarce resource which enables the school to run as smoothly as we see it. This is Cynthia Mondo Muthogi reporting for Young World TV News at 9 here at Daystar University.
They say love is a beautiful thing created by God. If you're a kind of woman who relates to this kind of saying, and it's sure that your current relationship will end up to marriage, well, you are not alone. Marilyn Ooko, a fourth-year student at Daystar University, spoke to Young World TV and narrates how she was expecting her once-upon-a-time affair could lead to marriage, yet no one really knows about tomorrow. Here is our reporter Marion Munyao with a feature dubbed The Uncertain Certainty.
They are carrying a lot of baggage, especially being wounded by their parents. So sometimes I feel that they go into relationships looking for their mothers or their fathers.
Emotional and psychological development is essential in order for a couple to be as certain as they dawn that their relationship could grow and lead to marriage in the near future, despite the uncertainty that comes with the test of times the duo may face as they experience love. The same goes for Marilyn, a fourth-year student at Daystar University Nairobi campus. Behind her beautiful smile is a story of tears, sadness, and pain that ripped off a chance for her to smile for 12 months. She vividly recalls the many castles she built while dating her then boyfriend for a period of not 1, not 2, but 3 years.
On the first encounter we clicked, he understood me deeply, and to an extent I even introduced him to my parents, to my mother especially, and I also got to meet his mother. Then even after that, he still bought me gifts. He treated me to many lunches and breakfast and brunches, and I felt like this really was the right person.
In those 3 years of being certain that she had already found her, quotes and quotes, the one, all other proposals from other suitors were turned to a deaf ear. Nothing could remove her from the love she experienced with her then boyfriend.
Well, first of all, other suitors were here and they were coming to me and asking me, and I was rejecting them because I basically didn't want to start from ground zero with someone else. And for me, seeing myself with this person all the way into the future made me turn down that invitation. Like I had already
Rejecting other proposals was not enough. The fourth-year student admits to have compromised her values, duties as a student, and even her social life, all in the name of love.
I put my mind into the relationship, and this compromised my values in the sense that I started disobeying my parents, in the sense that I found myself talking back at them because I put the relationship before anything else. So it also went against my values in the sense that I started coming home late, and I just became a totally different person.
Having neglected essentials that the society would think should have been a priority for her, her world all revolved around a young man then hit rock bottom. The reason being,
found another lady, and this lady was someone I didn't know, definitely, and it hurt a lot.
The end of a 3-year fairy tale crowned with heaps of certainty doubled up as the beginning of pain and misery for the 22-year-old.
Well, I felt like a part of me left my body, and just thinking about it evokes some emotions in a way that I feel like being friends wouldn't benefit me as such, but when he told me he wants to be friends, I felt like I should just get done with this person, and just move on.
It is said that broken crayons still color. 2 years down the line, Marilyn narrates some of the lessons she learned from this experience. Moreover, her biggest regret, she says, was to be very certain of a love affair, yet no one really knows about tomorrow.
One regret was that I actually thought that we'd end up together in the future, being certain that I'd actually end up marrying this guy. I've gotten to learn that sometimes, things come to an end. Things have a beginning and they come to an end. Then having to put my whole into that relationship was a mistake, such that I forgot about myself, and it was all about him and us, and not me.
All is left for Marilyn is to cling to the hope brought about by the ring she wears now and again. Engraved with the words, "I will wait," her ring stands as a constant reminder for her to be sure of the happiness brought about by every relationship she will be in the near future, but uncertain that they will definitely end up to marriage, as time will definitely tell. Reporting for Young World News TV, I am Marion Munyao in Daystar University, Nairobi campus.
So Cynthia, what do you make of that story?
Well, Marion, I think that's a great story, and it teaches us women to avoid putting all our eggs in one basket. Because the moment you open room for expectations from human beings, you open a bigger room for disappointments, which is not what we're looking for in relationships. And because of that, Marilyn went through a heartbreak. And in our today's segment, Breaking the Heartbreak, we are joined by Marilyn Ouko herself and a counseling psychologist, Maureen Athiambo, will shed some light on the uncertain certainty here at our studios. Breaking the Heartbreak is next with Cynthia Mundo. Enjoy. So welcome back to Young World News Special, and this is a talk show on matters love. Today our topic is Breaking the Heartbreak, and in studio I'm joined by Marilyn Akinyi and Madam Maureen Athiambo. So today, as you've seen in the feature above, Marilyn has gone through a heartbreak, through depression, and she has been able to come out through it. And as we've been watching in our news of late, people killing each other because of being rejected, being heartbroken. And today we want to understand how to go through a heartbreak and how to cope with it positively and maturely to avoid killing people and to avoid running into depression. So Maureen Athiambo is going to be our expert today. She's a counseling psychologist at Daystar University and with Neuro Counseling, and she's a training clinical psychologist in her PhD here at Daystar University. So welcome and feel at home.
Thank you.
This is Young World Special. And I think we can just get into it, and you can begin by introducing yourself.
My name is Marilyn Akinyi. I am a fourth year student at Daystar University pursuing a major in electronic media.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Maureen Athiambo Nyayeka. I'm a counseling psychologist, and I'm currently in the process of getting my PhD in clinical psychologist.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I think we can just get into it. And Marilyn, you can start by telling us what really happened during the day that you guys broke up. What happened?
The guy in question was moving out, so he came and told me that we can't be together anymore because he's moving to a different place and he can't do long distance relationships.
So following the recent news that you say this guy went to Nyahururu to hug a girl because she rejected the money and rejected the idea of them having a relationship, and that was his reaction. For you, what can you say was your immediate reaction when you received the news?
I felt shattered, broken. I felt like I couldn't live life anymore, and this is because I gave my all into this relationship. I didn't want to lose that essence of me being able to love someone unconditionally. Yes.
So Maureen, she said she felt shattered, and what can you say, how can you characterize these types of reaction when people break up? Because maybe if she was expecting this, she would have coped with it better.
So basically what Marilyn was experiencing was symptoms of depression, right? Yeah, and she felt shattered because she had deposited all her hopes in this guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was somebody she trusted. She really maybe hoped that they would have a great future together, and then all of a sudden everything just goes dark on her, and she's left hanging. She doesn't know what to do. And like she's just explained, she was open. Yeah, she was open, and her mind had not registered that in a relationship anything can happen, and someone can just wake up one morning and they don't want to see you again.
She said maybe you were scared, maybe he moved on with someone else. So during that period when you broke up, maybe you knew he was moving on with someone else. what can you say were the phases of emotions and feelings that you were going through during that period?
As she said, I became depressed. Like the way normal people would say, I can't eat, I can't sleep, I can't do anything. It literally happened to me. And this is when it hit me that I should have given more love to myself.
I think before we get to that, we can ask Madam Maureen. Many cases of heartbreak have led to anxiety and depression. Why can you say, why is that?
If individuals become depressed, then they start also presenting with symptoms of anxiety when they realize that for sure the perceptions they had about this other individual, this other person they were with in a relationship is normal, is not going to work for them. And so you hear, like she says, she started experiencing symptoms of depression.
Maureen, she dealt with her heartbreak by speaking to someone. She didn't go on a spree, killing or just insulting the guy. So I'd like to know how, maybe you can advise the audience at home how to deal with a breakup, or rather, what are the unhealthy ways most people deal with breakups, and now how to change them to healthy ways of coping with breakups.
Emotional breakup, they present with symptoms of depression, like she has said. They have irritable moods, sadness, irritability, tearing, and all that. They lose interest in whatever they previously enjoyed. The worst part of it is when someone now develops suicidal ideations. And so it's good to know about these things early. When you start displaying some of these symptoms, it's good to talk to someone. And I'm happy that she talked to someone. Yes, you see, when you are going through heavy stuff, you want to talk to someone close to you, like a mother, a sister, a brother, a close friend, and so on and so forth. And so, for those who are not able to cope, what they do is that they engage into deviant behaviors. That is where you hear that someone has gone out, they have stabbed somebody to death, they keep on stalking on you. They are not letting you go. And so one of the coping strategies as a psychologist is that it is important to seek professional help, professional counseling, so that you are clinically tested.
Yeah, so Marilyn, at the beginning you said you loved yourself. It's not easy for people to understand that self-love. Maybe in a short way you can explain how loving yourself and putting yourself first helped you.
I put in so much effort into the relationship, loved him unconditionally, but I didn't realize I also needed to love myself. So loving myself meant that giving myself time, appreciating myself for who I am, and basically how I interact with people, accepting other people into my life and not necessarily taking that breakup as something that would hinder me from building rapport with other people.
So as we conclude, maybe Maureen, you can give us maybe 3 main points on how to deal with a breakup in a healthy, positive and mature way.
One of the best ways to deal with a breakup, number 1 is accepting. You need to accept that this relationship is over and that whatever I do might not, salvage the relationship. Secondly, you just need to love yourself as an individual, what we call self-care. Please, if you have an issue that you feel is weighing you down, it is always good to seek professional help.
And this is Young World Special with Marilyn Ouko and Maureen Athiambo.
This has been Young World News at 9. I've been your presenter, Maureen Munyao.
And have been your presenter, Cynthia Mundo Muthogi.
Do have a lovely evening.